Maybe you have already done everything you know to do. You made the call. You sent the application. You checked the numbers again. You tried to repair the conversation. You waited past the date when you thought an answer would come. And now the house is quiet, but your mind is standing in front of the same locked door. Tonight, perhaps you are not afraid of the dark. You are afraid that tomorrow will look exactly like today. If that sentence feels uncomfortably close, stay here for a few minutes. You do not need to manufacture hope, hide the facts, or sound stronger than you feel. This prayer is for the person who has run out of clever solutions, but has not completely let go of God. Even if your faith feels no larger than a tired whisper, that whisper is welcome here. Take one slow breath. Let your shoulders come down. The problem may still be waiting in the morning, but you do not have to solve the whole future from your bed tonight. There is a simple prayer in 2 Chronicles, spoken by people who were surrounded and outmatched. We do not know what to do, but our eyes are on you. That is not the language of people pretending to be fearless. It is the honesty of people who have reached the edge of their own ability and chosen where to look next. God, that is where I am tonight. I do not know what to do about the situation that brought me here. I have turned it over in my mind until every thought feels worn thin. Some moments I believe a way will open. Other moments I wonder whether I have misunderstood. You missed my chance or waited too long. I am not bringing you a polished speech. I am bringing you the actual condition of my heart. Part of me is hopeful. Part of me is disappointed. Part of me wants an immediate answer. And part of me is almost afraid to expect anything good, because disappointment has become exhausting. Meet me in that mixture, Lord. Sit with me in the place where confidence and doubt share the same room. Do not shame me for being human. Teach me that faith is not the absence of questions. Sometimes faith is simply turning toward you while the questions remain. I ask for a breakthrough, but I do not ask for a fantasy. I am not trying to bargain with you or claim that life will suddenly become easy. I am asking you to do what I cannot do, reveal what I cannot see, and strengthen me for the step that belongs to me. If there is a door I should knock on again, give me courage. If there is a direction I must release, make me willing. If the change must begin inside me before it appears around me, be gentle and thorough. If help is already moving through a person, an opportunity, a correction, or an ordinary task, keep me from overlooking it because I expected something dramatic. For this moment, I stop rehearsing the worst ending. I place tomorrow back in your hands. I am still here. You are still God. And this story is not finished tonight. God, I want to name what feels impossible instead of covering it with religious words. You know the exact thing I keep circling. You know whether it is a balance that will not stretch far enough, a business that is barely holding on, work that has disappeared, or a responsibility that keeps growing while my resources become smaller. You know whether the locked door is a relationship where every conversation seems to make the distance worse. You know the private habit I have tried to break, the decision someone else has placed beyond my control, and the long silence where an answer was supposed to be. You have seen the late-night searches, the unfinished forms, the message I typed and erased, and the folder I keep moving from one side of the table to the other because opening it makes everything feel too real. None of this is hidden from you. I do not have to make the situation sound spiritual before you will care about it. So here is the truth, Lord. I am frustrated. I am tired of making progress for 3 days and losing ground on the 4th. I am embarrassed that I still need help. I compare my life with people who seem to move easily through doors that never open for me. Sometimes their good news touches a sore place in me, and I smile while quietly asking, when will it be my turn? Forgive me for the resentment I have allowed to grow. Forgive the sharp words, the silent blame, and the conclusions I formed while I was hurt. I have sometimes treated delay as proof that you had forgotten me. I have sometimes called a thing impossible, when what I really meant was that I could not control it. Show me the wall as it truly is. If I have made it larger through fear, correct my vision. If I have minimized a real problem because facing it would require change, give me honesty. If another person has harmed me, teach me to pursue wise boundaries without letting bitterness own the rest of my life. If my own choices helped create this trouble, Give me humility without drowning me in shame. I do not want relief built on denial. I want freedom rooted in truth. Search the motives beneath my request. Am I asking for a way forward because I want to be faithful or because I want to prove something? Am I clinging to one outcome because it is good or because my identity has become tied to getting it? Am I waiting for you to bless a plan that you have been trying to redirect? Please separate the clean desire from the wounded pride. Keep what is honest. Heal what is distorted. Remove the need to impress people who are not carrying this burden with me. And when I cannot find the right words, receive the silence. Romans chapter 8 says that the Spirit helps us in our weakness and intercedes when we do not know how to pray. Let that promise hold me now. Hear the sigh I could not explain to anyone. Hear the sentence that breaks halfway through. Hear the prayer beneath the tears that never came. The wall is real, but it is not greater than your wisdom. My view is limited, but yours is not. I will tell you the truth about what hurts, and I will trust you enough to hear the truth about what must change. Lord, when I stare at one closed road for too long, I forget how many times I once believed there was no road at all. Bring back the memories I have allowed stress to erase. Remind me of a season I thought would break me, yet somehow I came through it. Let me remember the person who called at the right time, the expense that was met in a way I could not have arranged, the strength that arrived only after I admitted I was weak, and the ending that first felt like loss, but later protected me from something I could not see. Not every memory is spectacular. Some of your faithfulness came quietly. A meal appeared. A stranger was kind. A friend stayed on the phone. I found enough courage for one more day. The answer did not fall from the sky. It came through a series of small mercies that I recognized only afterward. Thank you for those ordinary rescues. Thank you for the mornings when I woke, without knowing how I would continue, and discovered that grace had already reached the day before me. In Exodus, your people stood with water in front of them and an army behind them. They could not yet see a path through the sea. Moses told them not to be afraid and declared that the Lord would fight for them. The road did not exist in their sight when they were told to trust you. I will not pretend that their story is a guarantee that every obstacle in my life will disappear in the form I choose. It does remind me that my inability to see a path is not proof that you have none. You are not confined to the options I can list. You may lead around the barrier, through it, or toward a kind of freedom I have not considered. A delay can expose a weak foundation. A closed route can keep me from paying a cost I cannot yet see. Help me borrow courage from remembered grace. When my emotions say, nothing has ever changed, confront that lie with the evidence of my own life. I have known sorrow, but I have also known survival. I have lost things, and I have received gifts I never planned. I have made mistakes, yet mercy did not abandon me there. Even now, there may be movement beyond my sight. A needed skill may be forming through work that feels unrelated, or a harmful door may be staying shut for a reason. I cannot claim to know what you are doing, but I can trust your presence without inventing certainty. Give me eyes for today's evidence, strength to tell the truth, restraint not to send the angry message, or an idea that comes during an ordinary morning. These may not be the complete answer, but they are not nothing. Tonight I build no monument to the problem. I remember your character. You have been patient when I wandered, near when I felt alone, and merciful when I returned. The same God who met me before is not absent now. I cannot see the road yet. Still, I will not call the wilderness empty while you are walking with me. God, I have asked you to move the mountain. Now show me whether you are also asking me to move my feet. I know how easy it is to call something waiting on God when I am really avoiding an uncomfortable step. I can pray for a different job and never update the application. I can ask for reconciliation and refuse to own my part. I can request provision while ignoring the numbers I need to face. I can want a new beginning while protecting the habit that keeps leading me back to the same place. Please do not let prayer become a hiding place from responsibility. Isaiah records your words. See, I am doing a new thing. Then comes a question. Do you not perceive it? Sharpen my attention, Lord. A new thing may begin as an instruction that seems small, inconvenient, or beneath me. It may look like asking for advice, learning a skill, keeping an appointment, returning a call, changing a routine, apologizing without defending myself, or finally saying no. Make the next faithful move clear enough to obey. I do not need the whole map tonight. I need light for the piece of road in front of me. Give me wisdom that is practical. Help me distinguish a brave step from a reckless impulse. Keep me from forcing a door just because waiting makes me uncomfortable. Keep me from walking away too soon merely because the work is slow. Let wise counsel confirm what emotion alone cannot safely decide. Bring trustworthy people near me, people who listen before speaking, refuse to flatter my preferred answer, and care about my character as much as success. Give me humility to receive correction without calling it rejection. Where a conversation is overdue, prepare my tone and timing. Where discipline's needed, help me choose consistency over intensity. Where rest is wise, free me from the guilt that says exhaustion is faithfulness. If the opening I want would damage my integrity, do not let desperation make it attractive. I would rather move slowly with a clean conscience than arrive quickly by becoming someone I do not respect. Guard me from shortcuts that exploit another person, hide the truth, or promise relief at the cost of peace. Bless the work of my hands, but also correct the work of my hands. Let effort and surrender belong together. I will not act as though everything depends on me, and I will not sit still as though nothing has been entrusted to me. Tomorrow, when I wake, give me one action I can complete. Not 10 anxious tasks, one honest step. After that, show me the next. If the breakthrough comes through a slow sequence, keep me from despising it. A truthful talk is not full reconciliation, but it is movement. A small payment is not the end of debt, but it is direction. One clean day may not feel like freedom, but it is no longer yesterday. Teach me to recognize progress without worshiping speed. Tonight I ask for help beyond my ability. Tomorrow I am willing to participate in the answer. Lead me into work I can do, away from control I was never meant to carry, and through the next faithful move. Lord, I have written an ending in my mind, and more than once I have asked you simply to sign your name beneath it. I decided which door had to open, which person had to change, how the money should arrive, and when the waiting should end. Then I measured your goodness by how closely life followed my outline. Tonight I loosen my grip on that outline. This is not easy surrender. The outcome matters to me. There are names, years, sacrifices, and real consequences attached to it. I cannot act as if every ending would feel the same. Some possibilities scare me. Some would require grief before I could call them grace. Still, I know that control has not given me peace. It has only kept me awake rehearsing conversations that have not happened and solving days that have not arrived. Jesus prayed in Gethsemane with complete honesty about what he desired, yet he also entrusted himself to the Father's will. Teach me that kind of prayer, not numb resignation, not pretending I have no preference, but a trust deep enough to speak my desire and still leave room for your wisdom. Here is what I want, God. You already know it, but I say it plainly before you now. I want the answer. I want the opportunity. I want the relationship repaired. I want the pressure to ease. I want evidence that these months have not been wasted. I want to stop being the person who always has to wait. And here is what I need even more. I need to remain close to you, honest in my choices, and whole in my soul. Do not give me what I demand if receiving it would pull me away from the life you are forming in me. Do not let a desired success become a private ruin. If the thing I call a breakthrough is actually another version of bondage, expose it before I chase it any farther. Redefine victory where my definition is too small. Perhaps the breakthrough is not convincing someone to stay, but becoming free from the belief that I am worthless if they leave. Perhaps it is not returning to the old position, but discovering work that fits the person I have become. Perhaps it is not avoiding every consequence, but finally living without the fear of being found out. Perhaps the answer is not the restoration of what was, but the courage to build what can now be. I do not say those possibilities lightly. I know change can hurt, even when it leads somewhere healthy. So if you redirect me, do not leave me alone in the turning. Give me time to grieve what I expected. Send patient people who will not rush my healing. Help me release the picture without believing that my life has lost its meaning. Close what needs to close without hardening my heart. Open what is right without letting pride take the credit. Meet a yes with gratitude, a no with comfort, and not yet with enough patience for another day. I surrender the timetable too. I have treated certain dates as deadlines for your faithfulness. Forgive me. A calendar can measure passing days, but not all that you are shaping. Take the answer I wrote for you. Keep every good desire within it, remove every demand born from fear, and return my hands to an open position. I still ask you to make a way. I simply release my insistence that it must look exactly like mine. There is a particular ache in waiting after you have already waited well. At first, you were patient. You prayed with energy. You noticed encouraging signs and believed the answer was near. Then the weeks became months. People stopped asking for updates. You grew tired of telling the story. Even your own words began to sound familiar to you. God, you know that place. You know how delay can make a person question not only the future, but also the meaning of the past. Was I wrong to hope? Did I misread the direction? Have I been standing beside a door that was never going to open? I bring you those questions without editing them. Habakkuk was told that a vision had an appointed time, and that, though it seemed slow, he was to wait for it. Yet waiting in Scripture was never a command to become lifeless. The people who waited still planted, spoke truth, served, mourned, worked, and watched. Teach me how to wait without disappearing from my own life. Keep this unresolved need from consuming every good thing that remains. I do not want to miss a meal with someone I love because my mind is elsewhere. I do not want to treat today as a hallway with no value simply because the room I want has not opened. Let me live this day as a real piece of my life, not as disposable time before the answer. Give me permission to laugh without feeling that I have betrayed the seriousness of my situation. Let beauty reach me again. The sound of rain, warm food, a quiet room, the voice of someone who knows me well. These things do not solve the problem, but they remind me that the problem is not the whole world. When I grow tired of the same request, change the prayer. Let "when will this end?" become "what goodness can I still practice today?" Let "have you forgotten me?" become an honest invitation to notice where you are near. Do not allow delay to turn me cruel. Pain has made me impatient with people who did not cause it. I have answered too sharply, withdrawn too quickly, and expected others to understand what I never explained. Help me apologize where strain has spilled onto innocent hearts. Protect me also from false urgency. When a person has waited a long time, almost any movement can feel better than stillness. Keep me from accepting a harmful offer, returning to an unsafe pattern, or trusting a flattering voice simply because it promises speed. If the season is ending, prepare me to recognize the opening. If more time is required, give me daily strength rather than a speech about being strong. Send what I need for the next 24 hours. Tomorrow can receive its own mercy. If belief feels thin tonight, let me rest beside the faith of others. I am not the first to pray in the dark. Generations before me waited, wept, doubted, and still found you faithful. I joined their unfinished song quietly, but I have not stopped singing. The waiting has outlived some of my strength. It has not outlived your presence. Now, Lord, I pray directly over the place that has refused to move, where finances have become constant pressure. Bring order, provision, and sound judgment. Show me what is urgent and what is merely loud. Guide me toward honest work and trustworthy counsel. Protect me from scams dressed as rescue and debt, disguised as opportunity. Give me courage to ask for help before a manageable problem becomes a hidden crisis. Where employment has stalled, open the right conversation. Show me what I still need to learn. If rejection damaged my confidence, separate one person's decision from my worth. Lead me toward work where my gifts can serve and my conscience can remain clear. Where a relationship is frozen, begin with truth. Soften what has become defensive, but do not confuse peace with pretending. Give each person the courage to hear what is painful without reaching for a weapon. Where an apology is owed, remove excuses. Where forgiveness is possible, let it grow without erasing wise boundaries. Where reconciliation would be unsafe or dishonest, give clarity and the grace to stop chasing an ending that requires me to abandon myself. Where a private pattern has kept me trapped, expose what opens the door. Help me interrupt it earlier. Replace shame with accountable action, and bring one trustworthy person into the hidden place. Let freedom be built through truth and repeated choices, not another promise made alone. Where a dream has been delayed so long that I am embarrassed to mention it, examine it with me. If it still has life, breathe courage into the next step. If its season is past, help me let it go without calling myself a failure. Where conflict policy, another person's decision, or circumstances beyond my reach control the outcome, intervene in the way only you can. Bring overlooked facts to light. Turn the attention of someone with authority. Create an opening for fairness. Restrain what is unjust. Yet while I ask you to change what is outside me, keep resentment from changing me into someone I never wanted to become. I ask for what I cannot manufacture, favor that does not require manipulation, provision that does not corrupt, reconciliation founded on truth, freedom that survives the hard days, and direction that becomes clearer as I obey. But I also pray for the breakthrough beneath every other breakthrough. Break the belief that I am alone. Break the habit of measuring my worth by outcomes. Break the fear that says one closed chapter means there can be no meaningful future. Break the pride that would rather remain stuck than be seen receiving help. Make a way in the circumstances, Lord, and make a way in me. If the outer change arrives first, prepare my character to carry it. If the inner change comes first, help me recognize that it is not a lesser answer. I do not want only a changed situation with the same frightened soul. I want to walk into whatever comes next more truthful, more compassionate, less controlled by approval, and more attentive to you. I place this unmoving thing before you by name. I will not exaggerate it, and I will not minimize it. I ask boldly. I wait honestly. I remain willing to be led. The room is still the same room. The message may not have arrived. The account may show the same number. The person may not have changed their mind. Prayer has not erased reality, and I do not need to pretend that it has. But something can be different before I sleep. I no longer have to keep watch over every possible ending. I can stop refreshing, calculating, replaying, and bracing. I can let this night be a night instead of turning it into a courtroom where I question the future until morning. Psalm 131 describes a soul that has been calmed and quieted like a child resting with its mother. Give me that unforced quiet, Lord. Not the silence of giving up, but the settled breath of someone who knows they are held while the answer is still forming. I place the people involved in your care. I release the conversations I cannot finish tonight. I release the decision sitting on another person's desk. I release the result, the deadline, the comparison, and the imagined disaster. None of them needs my midnight supervision. Forgive what I did poorly today. Where I failed, let mercy teach me. Where I simply endured, receive the offering I had. Prepare tomorrow without forcing me to live there early. When morning comes, let me rise ready for the next faithful move. Give me language for the call I need to make, and restraint for the one I should not make yet. My life still has purpose while my own request remains unanswered. If a door opens soon, keep me close as I walk through it. Let gratitude become action, and help me remember the person who is still standing where I stood. If nothing changes tomorrow, keep discouragement from writing the final sentence. One unchanged day is not the entire future. Give me grace for the next piece, and then the next. Let steady faith become stronger than dramatic fear. I think again of the prayer, we do not know what to do, but our eyes are on you. That is enough for this night. I do not know. You are still worthy of my attention. I cannot control the outcome. I can choose where I rest my heart. God, be present in the unseen places. Work through truth, timing, people, discipline, mercy, and every ordinary means you choose. Interrupt what would harm me. Strengthen what is good. Give me courage when the way appears and patience when it does not. I ask again for a breakthrough, not as a demand that you prove your love, but as a child asking a good father for help. Make a way where there seems to be none. And if the first part of that way is simply enough strength to wake up and take one honest step, I will receive that strength with thanks. Tonight, the locked door will not become the name of my life. The delay will not become my identity. The unanswered question will not be my God. You are God. You were here before this trouble began. You will remain when this chapter has passed. Your love is not waiting on a favorable outcome before it reaches me. So I let my hands rest. I unclench my jaw. I allow the bed beneath me to carry my weight. I give my body permission to sleep. The answer belongs to your wisdom. The next step belongs to tomorrow. This breath belongs to now. In Jesus' name, amen. If this prayer gave words to the place you have been carrying alone, you can mark this night with 3 simple words. I still trust, not because you know how the story ends, but because you have chosen not to face it without God. Rest now. This story is not finished tonight.